To reset my hair before I get my day started. And I need to go and get my clips to section my hair, and then the sauce to section it and band it up. I sit on this little dryer, you know what I'm saying, and get my day started. You know what? I might not even have to do. No, I'm gonna do the little leaving. Give me just a moment, and we'll get into it. Now, if you come in here and you start talking crazy, I'm gonna take the chat off. I ain't for that shit today. So if you come up in here and you start tip typing on some bullshit, I'm gonna go ahead and take chat the fuck away from you, and that's real talk. Okay? I just wanted to say that because y'all look some not y'all, but people be a little crazy up and through here sometimes. So hold on, I'm finna get this thing and start wiping your girl down. Hold on one moment. Whew. Where is my shit at though? Oh, okay. Hold please. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get my hair banded up while I talk to you guys, and I think I'm gonna do me a peel. I just thought of that as I was thinking about as I'm about to lay my hair down to go ahead and do my peel, so that way I can do another treatment when I come back from getting active with the people, which is why I'm tying my hair down now. Anyway, the whole point of this thing right here is to turn your dummy down. Okay? And I'm gonna say this with all the love and I was actually inspired by something else that normally doesn't inspire me for me to do this live stream. But I'm gonna say this right here. If you guys follow my Twitter account, you saw that I shared last night. I believe when Janet Jackson was on her Velvet Rope tour, and I'm gonna tell you something. You want to know something? Whenever I think of myself as a sensual body, whenever I'm doing something, whether it's writing, and mind you, the way my ADHD is set up, I have to write when I get it. Right then and there, it does not matter what's going on. I have to write it. I have to record my voice saying something right then and there, the way my ADHD is set up, honey. Because if you think I'm gonna just sit down and, like I told you, I've been working on this thing for quite some time. And it's not because I'm delayed. I got a lot of material to write with. It's just because I don't even see how I could creatively just sit down and just write something. You know what I'm saying? Just write something. If anything, it's so good it's like therapy for me to write like a creative work. And mind you, I've never written like a creative work. I think that I was like into poetry and creative writing in high school. In middle school, I won a couple of poetry contests and things of that nature. But I was more into doing business plans, child. Okay, where's the money at, right? Um, and my creative pursuits were always something that was to beautify people. I actually, the only reason I didn't take cosmetology seriously is that I really kept asking my teacher about makeup. And the only reason why I say that is that every makeup artist that I follow, one of the things that they all have in common is that they talk about Kevin Aucoin. Like when Kevin Aucoin came out with this book, where I think he turned, I can't remember her name, but like he turned these women and men respectfully using the power of makeup, shadowing and just being an artist, architect, if you will. He was able to change the way that they looked so drastically. To look like, I can't remember the actress or the model that he had looked like James Dean. I was in love ever since then with just that construct. And mind you, I played every role when it came to theater, whether it was someone who was acting, doing the lighting, costumes, all of that shit, right? And you would think my extra special head ass would have gotten into something like that. No, because I, being, this fucking Capricorn, listen, it's all gonna go together. Just shut the fuck up and listen to me talk, okay, for a moment, all right? Because I am an oracle, so I'm gonna say the things that you need to hear. And if you don't feel that way, why the fuck are you here anyway? I love the fact that you're here, but I just need you to love yourself a little bit more to respect what it is that you should be prioritizing in your life. And if it's not me, then fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am all about telling a bitch to fuck off. And you should be too. If it's not suiting you, especially if someone's wasting your time, absolutely tell them to fuck off. Because, baby, I will not cease at any moment to tell you to fuck off. Tell them, him, her, and everyone, fuck off. You know what I'm saying? I will tell you that. I think I might even slip up one day if I manage to have kids. They get on my nerves bad enough. You know what, little motherfucker, I love you. But you know something? You can fuck off in my head movies. I might say it. I might actually say it, you know? You know? I may have one of the fuck those kids moments and say fuck off. It's embedded in my DNA. Anyway, nonetheless, you would think that I would have went into some shit like that, but no, my Capricorn logical brain, just for whatever, and yes, Mercury is in Capricorn in the eighth house. And I thought, okay, go into forensics and maybe mortuary services, and you can maybe help rebuild a body that's been smashed to smithereens or some shit. Then that shit seemed too intense. And then life got real. And then, like, I got my first job and I made too much money to finish college. Wait, that's crazy. But I've had experiences in my life, and I'm gonna tell you something. Astrology is phenomenal because I don't think I've ever been able to stay in one industry and do one thing. I am truly a Gemini rising to my core, baby. But the difference between, like, the Geminis, when they say jack of all trades, masters of none, bitch, I master things and I keep them. I don't just go and jump into something else. I keep at something to master it. Okay, maybe that's the benefit of having Gemini placements along with having Capricorn. But the drawback to having all this Earth placements is, bitch, when are we gonna see the work? You know what I'm saying? I say the same thing to myself, so I don't feel bad for asking that. But nonetheless, I say all of that to say this: with all of those things that I know about myself, and all of those things that I take pride in about myself, I recognize I'm self-aware enough and self-loving enough. Okay, I'm about to band up my hair. I was about to start not being able to fucking chew gum and walk at the same time. So let's get on with this process. So anyway, so I recognize with myself when I am playing myself. Okay? I do. I recognize it immediately. And that's because I'm concerned with myself. So maybe the way that I want to talk about this today, maybe is that we want to start maybe championing people being a little bit more concerned with themselves and less concerned with other people until they start to do things that are healthy. Maybe that's how we want to lead this, okay? If you follow my channel or if you just don't like me and you have a jealousy against me, then bitch, shut the fuck up and take notes. Fuck you and fuck off after I'm done. But that's the reason why your bitch ass is here. Because you can't quite get it together. Because no one who has a fucking problem with me, who listens to me, has their life together. That's for fucking sure. Like when you like, I want you to know something. Okay, this shit's finna go on. Oh, the Gemini rent. I feel it. I feel that bitch rising up. Hold on. Nobody who actually has a fucking problem with me. I want you to understand what I'm about to say, because I'm about to piss you off, bitch. And in such a good way, because this is like a Christmas gift to you. Like, this is yay, Christmas in July. What's up? Okay, you know what I'm saying? Happy birthday to all the cancers. So no bitch who listens to me intently should have a problem with me. And if you do, you are a loser. Bona fide fucking loser. Because what the fuck do you mean, bitch? What the fuck do you mean that the bitch you love to hate is the bitch who's putting you up on your life decisions and goals? Are you serious right now? How do you feel? Like, you can't, like, you think that you're getting at me because you see maybe not a few people, not that many people watching me, so you assume that people who have motion don't watch me. But then you seem to forget that you don't have any motion. And you can't get on the level that I'm on. And mind you, I don't have that many pesos. But you can't pace yourself with me anymore. You got 300 and 400,000 people following you. You have some celebrity contacts and some people who like your shit to and fro, but you broke. And you watching me. You listening to me to get your, matter of fact, you even go and repeat the things I say. You are so clueless that you don't realize that some of the people who follow you, I don't have to ever say your name, which means I'm not giving you publicity, but they all lose faith in you as being someone who has wisdom, because they too see you trying to imitate the drip. Like, it doesn't even serve you to be hating on me. For real, for real. Like, it honestly doesn't serve you. It would be more admirable if you piped down and took notes. You know? I just had to address it because I kind of felt I felt the twinges of that in the shadow realm. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what this is Pantene Pro V. No. Sorry, not Pantene Pro V. Different dimension. This is Infusium 23 in water. Okay, preferably distilled water. Okay, so you live somewhere in a dry climate. All right, this is good to. This is what I use personally to reset my hair. That way, I don't have a lot of gunk or buildup or anything like that. And my hair gets a nice little protein and vitamin wash before I have to do the wash. And I wash my hair weekly and set my curls twice a week. Okay? Okay. Just in case you wanted to know that. Anyway. So, as I was stating, yeah, I mean, like, why would anyway, the point of the matter is that I realized that personally, and this is me, I'm not a guru. I'm not your guru. I don't even think that way, okay? I'm just really chit-chatting and yapping at this point, okay? But some people find it therapeutic to listen, and some people find that I am so much of a muse for them that I say something that helps them complete a thought, an idea, or even develop a product and or service, okay? I'm just walking value, honey. That's all that is. I mean, I talk and literally inspire people to make money. That's the reason why I don't talk a lot. And I let people call me so I can capitalize off of how valuable I am. So, nonetheless, and see, that takes self love and that takes work to know that you have that kind of value. You can't mimic that because you see someone else. You got to know that shit on the inside. You got to know that you are so well sought out that if you don't show your face on the internet, not a single day anymore, like on purpose on your own personal page, that you're still going to get coined and that you still are going to be a force in the industry that you're in. Because I'm not in an industry that's set online, that was created online. If anything, it is reinventing itself through online services, which I think is fantastic. So, but nonetheless, if I can recognize when I'm not being serious, when I'm not doing something and I'm playing in my own face, right? And like I said, this is something that takes work. It has taken me work to get to this point. And I'm gonna say something. Not a lot of work. I needed to understand what things and how I played my own self, because I always have been aware to be invested in myself, make sure that I knew if I was serving myself. I've always had that sense, okay? But maybe not in knowing the exact way in which I either lie to myself or hold myself back, right? I don't think that it is healthy. And trust me, if I don't like somebody, I don't think that much of you to hold back good ideas from people who I think highly of. Because why? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think if you can benefit from it, great. Because you might like if I don't like you or you don't like me, you might become less of an insufferable bitch. If you listen to me and become a much better person, then you'll see the person that you were acting like, and you'll be like, no wonder Nala didn't fuck with me. I truly was the one who wasn't fucking with me either. You feel me? So you'll kind of get where I'm coming from, and you'll stop being such, like I said, an insufferable bitch, and one who lies to themselves. Like, you can't show me that. You can't show me that you're willing to be like me and ever think that you're going to outdo me or disrespect me in any kind of way that's going to throw me off my game. Like, that shit right there, when a woman does that or a man does that, for me personally, I'm such a fucking natural. I didn't realize I was a troll. I honestly didn't realize I was a troll, y'all. I did not know that I was so beastly. But nonetheless, when someone does that to me, like, you're not really hurting my feelings. If anything, my ego, which I'm supposed to be establishing in this lifetime or whatever, but I don't like the way it feels sometimes, because I'm a seven house sun, because it feels gross, because I don't want to be like the people who I see who are ego filled, because I think they're gross individuals. Like, they're kind of goofy and fake. And that's the reason why they don't have no real shit going on in their life, because they're not a real bitch. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm being completely shady, but I'm just going to be honest with you. That's the last person. Those are the last human beings that I want to be like. But I also am self-aware enough to know that if they make me cringe, there's something about them that I am displaying. There's something about that person that I absolutely find disgusting that I do. You don't find shit weird unless it's something that hits home. You don't find shit disgusting like that unless it's somewhere inside of you. That's the thing about self-awareness. That's the thing about being an adult. That's the thing about being invested in loving yourself. That's the thing about not allowing yourself to play yourself. Is that when you have a problem with someone and you can't put your finger on it, it's a good chance that that person is an embodiment of something that you absolutely find horrendous about yourself somewhere. And I'm going to tell you what mine is. I think that I've not forgiven myself, or I have not allowed myself to learn the difference until recently between a genuine need for companionship and friendship and the performance and being like weirded out by people who performed it. And what I mean by that, or performed a thing, what I mean by that is that for instance, I was talking about Janet Jackson when I talked about what I consider myself, like, who's my muse as it relates to being sensual and sexual. And maybe it's because Janet's an Aries moon. Mind you, I'm a 1 degree Taurus moon. And the Ashwini nakshatra, which is ruled in Vedic astrology by the constellation of Aries, right? Which falls into the zodiacal, the last 10 degrees of Aries into the first, I think, 8 or 10 or maybe even 12 degrees of Taurus, okay? So the Ashwini is the two Kumars or twin horses, okay? Very, very strong. I think that Janet is a Revati moon. I could be wrong. I think she's a Revati moon. Because in Vedic astrology, I'm the first Aries sign. And so they would put her, I think, square as a Ravati moon. But nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? She's a 23 degree or 24 degree or 25 or 26 degree Taurus, which is conjunct my Chiron. So like I envisioned like that sensuality I didn't notice until I studied her about myself because it's in my 12th house. So I didn't know what people were reacting to. So when I put that post up about the Aquarius, I should have been more forthcoming and saying that I didn't realize the effects that I have. And I'm not saying that I'm just walking around as some kind of fucking sex maven, but I mean, I am eighth house dominant. I mean, shit. And when you are eighth house dominant, I don't know what people are just like, I don't know why people don't say this about Virgos or sixth house dominant. Like Virgos truly give the virgin because there's something that is innately sensual about them. And I don't care if they put on a nun outfit. There's something that is so hot about Virgos because you can sense the restraint. So when you have like a Virgoan scorpionic energy, it's hot. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can see it's smoldering under whatever veneer that it wants to present or whatever it wants to decide is most comfortable for it. Okay? Which means that it's not somewhere or with people that it feels comfortable with. So can you blame them for being a little uptight or blame me for being a little uptight? I don't think so. Because bitch, you're not my tea. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like you want me to go and do all this weird shit in front of you and I don't trust you. I don't like you. I don't want to taste you. I don't want to smell you. I don't want to smell your nature. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to figure out what about me is like you so I can get that, so I can either learn to embrace it and maybe stop being such a bitch to you. And I'm not saying I go around being a raving bitch to people. I generally am not a bitch to people until they fucking do some shit that pisses me off. But I tried the whole point of me talking about this is that my relationship with myself has become so increasingly important so that I can understand some things and I don't miss out on life by lying to myself and by playing with myself. You know what I'm saying? Like making a fool out of myself for someone else instead of making a fool out of myself for my own purposes, for my own amusement. You know what I'm saying? It is a difference. Some people think, oh, okay, we're laughing at you as a group. Bitch, I think you're a group of clowns. The fuck you mean? I don't give a fuck about you guys laughing. You have the IQ of 3 combined amoebas, single cell amoebas. If I say Dwallop, you motherfuckers laugh. I mean, you're not impressive enough. Give a shit about your group and what you find funny. It's lowbrow anyway. The fuck? I'm sure that some stupid bitches thought Einstein was funny. I'm sure some dumb motherfuckers that thought Michael Jackson was funny. That money wasn't funny though, was it? Type shit. Adopt that if you need to. Adopt that behavior and that outlook if you need that, okay? I'm just saying, if you need that, adopt it, okay? But like, I don't give a fuck about you. What you find funny? What I find funny is your bitch asses whatever age you are, you still in the fucking projects and in the hood. I find that funny. I don't find it funny. I find it sad, to be quite honest with you. I find that you might need charity, if you will. I find it fun. What I do find funny is that you don't find that weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had one bitch gonna say, well, you know what, people, I think she tried to motion and was like, well, you know something, why this, that, and the third, you know, people laugh at certain stuff. I guess she was trying to say something weird to me. And I'm like, first of all, bitch, I am too decorated. I'm too awarded. I'm too accomplished for you to even play with me like that. Like, we are peers for one. I am completely out of your fucking league. Do not, I think people get on this internet and they think that they're the same. And as a human being, we are all the same, right? But we're not the same as far as in terms of capabilities and accomplishments. You're talking to someone who will ultimately make decisions on whether or not you and your mother and your future family will be able to get public housing and assistance. Like, talk to me nice, bitch. You're talking to somebody who can and will influence the ability for you or your family to receive government aid if you so choose to continue to waste your youth and rely on other people to take care of you. So talk to me nice type shit, you know? Watch your fucking mouth. Be willing to take that stance with people as well. That's a really good one. But anyway, you gotta know when you're playing yourself, okay? And sometimes people are playing themselves by how they approach other people, how they treat other people. But a lot of times, a lot of us, including the people who inspired this, it's the way that you act. You have shown people that you're desperate. You've shown people that you're willing to compete for something that is not admirable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be you can't come in here and then play like you're a fucking victim. Bitch, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we going through in America, girl, fuck you. If that's not your son that died, your daddy, your mother, okay? You don't get the points because you experienced some death, bitch. You shouldn't even know me. Not this kind of way. Coming to me with some weak ass shit like that. It's not that I'm being insensitive to you. It's the fact that you thought that whatever you was going through, you didn't have to communicate a certain kind of way and give respect to other people by respecting yourself to withdraw yourself when you weren't in your right fucking mind. But you thought you were going to bulldoze and come over here and play in our face. And you got your face played in. That's not my fault. Some people will come to you and they will expect you to give more to them than they've ever fucking provided to you. I don't know if these bitches think that they're cute or they look more attractive, bitch. I've seen you without makeup. You look like a fucking alien. You like an egghead hoe. I mean, you should be humbled by your own appearance. I know I am. When I'm not pulled together, bitch, this shit humbles me. Even though I know I clean up beautifully and I know I'm well stacked when it comes to this bone structure and how it shows up. Oh, baby, I've been humbled. So to think that you were that bad of a bitch that you can come over here and be treated the way a nigga treats you, bitch, I'm not trying to fuck you. And I don't have a dick for you to suck. I want you to be the queen that you said you were. I want you to be the person that you said you were. I want you to be the boss that you said you were. Not this fucking weak ass piece of shit or piece of garbage that is breaking down at the sight of other men being fathers because you refused to choose one that was suitable for yourself or your fucking kids. That's not my fault. Okay? That's not my fault. Get the fuck over it, bitch. We make mistakes. It's not your fault that I got to where I was size-wise and I got to go in here and fix it. So I can be a bad to the bone ass bitch. That's not your fault, though. It's not your fault that the world is superficial the way it is. And in order for me to get things off the way that it needs to be, I got to serve up sex appeal. Sex appeal. This is something like you taught me. I'm talking to a specific person right now, or a group of type of women. Yeah, women. That's not my fault that I caught on and caught wind and understood something about myself and what it is that we're here to do, or at least I'm here to do, because I can't speak for you, bitch. Because now this last stunt you pulled, hoe, I'll never respect. Man, listen. You know what? I'm gonna take that back. I respect people. I respect people get the fuck out their way. I'll say that much. I know that I know that there's someone listening here that I would never interact with on a professional level, because I'm so fucking disgusted. And that's probably what I've been kind of processing. I'm so fucking disgusted. You know, people say, well, you know, you're not, that's that person. Yeah, that's true. But when you get people, and I have to be cognizant of this shit myself. I guess is why I'm here to say this shit. It's that when you go and you make these promises to people, and you say that this is what I'm here to do, and you get people to believe in you enough to invest support into you, invest time into you, and you go and you act in a way that is disrespectful to everybody, even the person that you claim to be grieving, bitch, and you use what you're going through to exploit the situation in order to garner attention, to avoid dealing with your own issues when it comes to abandonment and being able to name where you were disempowered, then it's one thing to do that, and it's one thing to be human, and that's to fucking happen. And I don't need the people's opinion. Well, there's somebody else, bitch, gone somewhere. If I wanted that opinion, I would have asked you for it. So don't get your ass cussed out too, okay? Don't get cussed out, okay? I don't need that shit. I'm talking real people shit. We should be concerned with what the fuck is going on in our community. Our lack of concern is why the fuck Trump ass is in this motherfucker doing the do. Okay? Our lack of concern of the resources we have available to us as women, specifically as motherfucking black women, is why the fuck we have so many repeals on healthcare systems that otherwise could protect us. You want to know the real tea, bitches? A lot of bitches that are my age that were afraid to have children because we thought a motherfucker would kill us or strangle and kill our goddamn children while we're doing birth. You know that for when it comes to women birthing children, specifically black women, the rate of death is so high for black women in every area, every measure, from sexually transmitted diseases to congenital disorders. Some would even say that they're probably even playing, allegedly, with the vaccinations that they're giving black women. And you and this motherfucker offering head to men to thank them for being fathers instead of focusing on what it meant to actually be one who had it in one household and a good husband, while disrespecting the fuck out of other black women because your motherfucking mammy did that shit to you, called you a cocksucker when you was a baby, and you've not been able to get over that, to the point where the only people you showed up for in your life have been men. Even if it meant children, the only people you shown up for have been men, because you haven't healed that rip. And you want to get your goddamn ass up here and talk to me, bitch, and size me up and say that I'm tripping when we say, sis, you out here tripping. Fall back. Out of love? Girl, if you don't shut the fuck up and get out of my face, I am so done with you. I find you to be so fucked up as a person that whatever you were trying to do, God bless it, because I know I won't be putting my support behind it. That shit is fucked up. You ought to see the way that women felt about that shit. You didn't give a fuck, because that situation in which you've not been able to deal with about your dad has you playing yourself. And when you get upset, when you feel vulnerable, you get up in these men face and you play with them just to when you come back to your senses, cuss them out for wanting to talk sex with you, for wanting you to actually follow through on sucking their dick the way that you told them they deserve to get their dick sucked. Crazy bitch. You understand what I'm saying? This the type of shit. Black women, we don't want to be accountable for this shit. You want to be sensual. But I'm going to tell you something. I can guarantee you my muse, Janet Jackson, wasn't up there having to put a bunch of posters up about how she's a sensual woman and the type of man that she wants. But like your tired ass is, you've been talking about what kind of man you want for how long? And then this is the part that like makes it so disappointing. You think other black women can't read when a bitch ain't got a man? But when you having a man is such a level up to you that you make it a thing. And then when the women don't respond a certain kind of way, you start feeling silly. You start feeling goofy. And you supposed to be the bitches that are supposed to be leading black women in spirituality. Bitches are going fucking in debt trying to marry someone because she thought that was going to get her the admiration from women, black women, and it didn't. You still feel unseen. That mother wound is still there. Oh yes, we're in Cancer season. That is still there. No amount of you being better than the next woman could heal that mother wound. Because in that, you were denying your inner child in favor of doing all this weird ass shit. And then you get mad at bitches like me who are truth tellers. Because I'm not gonna sit here and say that Janet Jackson is my muse and she ain't got her issues, baby. She got her issues. I just like the way she presents sexually. I like the way she presents sexually because she's so good with providing herself or making sure that she's enjoying. She's not based in pleasing a man in a sense of getting you to like her. She knows you like her. She knows it. You can tell how she moves. She knows you like her. I like that kind of shit because I'm not entering any situation unless I know that you like me, because I get off on the fact that you are into me. That's if you're not into me, I could never push myself on a man or a woman that wasn't into me, because I get off on the fact that you want me that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like that in and of itself is a turn on. I would never deny myself something like that. And whatever I gotta do, however I need to evolve to make sure that I'm desired like that in every form of my life, so that I am fully engaged and able to be of service the ways in which I want to be, and I'm not being taken advantage of because I'm actually being appreciated, is the way I want to live. So even though I'm talking about other areas of my life that are not sexual, everything is sex. Everything is the combining of energies in order to create something new. So don't ever get it twisted. Highly sexual beings are some of the most creative and some of the most divine individuals that you're going to find on the planet. But I promise you, they're not running around here with their legs cocked open, showing you their pussy print. They don't have to. They can be in a full nun outfit. This is why I use Virgo as the spectrum of perfection. Because when you have ravishing sexuality, you could be in a burqa and it's radiating off of you. It's in your eyes. It's in your conversation. It may not even be in the tonality of your voice, but the continuity of your conversation. There's just an involvement that you bring to whatever it is that you do that shows that you have the ability and the wherewithal to satisfy yourself and someone else to full completion over and over and over again. You're consistent in this. You're able to go and strike a nerve. Just like you can strike a nerve and piss somebody off, you're able to strike a nerve and get somebody off. Both are essential. Those same skills are essential in either arena. Okay? So, when I see someone And you done got me to support you, and you done made me look like Boo Boo the Fool to get behind you because you have insulted the inner child of other black women and the outer presentation of the black woman by reducing her to nothing but a cum dumpster on fucking Father's Day. And you got women who actually are wives who you're trying to overshadow and shit on. Bitch, fuck you. And that's how I feel about that. How dare you? Don't involve me. Don't want me. Don't desire me. Don't signal for me. Don't play little shit that you know that you can play off of neuro-linguistic programming. If you don't want to fully commit to what it is that I bring. Because the moment that you do and play with me like that, bitch, I will cut you off. And everything that I brought to assist you will leave with me. And I mean that to the bottom and core of my entire being. Don't you ever fucking disrespect me or other people who want to come there and support you because you don't know how to be a woman. Because you still a little girl who your mother accused of sucking dick. Because she's a fucking pervert, just like you, an adult pervert. Okay? Now, you have another situation. You are always competing with other women. You don't know what to do because the nigga is not the connecting factor. You are a flaming dyke. You're a bull dagger. And the only reason you want men to pay attention to you is so that you can be with women. You are a masculine girl. You look masculine. Okay? The girls on Drag Race are outdoing you by a mile. You have your father's spirit within you. You're not a whore. You are a man. Girl. And you are attracted to women. And you are ashamed of it because your mother made you feel unvalidated as a woman, and you've been trying to attach to being a woman so much that you're even willing to let groups of men fuck on you in order to feel feminine and to finally be dominated by a masculine principle because you felt so separated from it. You were the tallest girl, the biggest girl, and your mom did little to nothing to reaffirm your girlness in you. Your girlhood. You are a lesbian and you're attracted to women. That's the reason why when Michael is off the table, you're still trying to compete with me because you want to have sex with me. That's why. You don't want a man. That's the only reason that you're talking about having a husband and you're talking about having a lover is that you don't actually want to be with a man. A man is something for you emotionally to achieve because of you being denied that in your childhood. You're not in love with men. You love women. You're a lesbian and you just don't know it yet. And this is crazy because I'm not even a lesbian. If I was a lesbian like that, okay, let me go ahead and give you the benefit of the doubt and tuck my titties back into my shirt. Okay. If I'm a lesbian, then I would say that I'm gonna say entry level interest because I've never had like lesbian activities, but I know how to scoop. And I got good rhythm and I'm a service orientated person. So I'm going to pay attention to what feels good to them because I know what feels good to me. You know, when I eat slowly. I savor the things that I put in my mouth. So I don't think I'll have a trouble there if I wanted to. I'm sure that I will allow myself, to be shown exactly what to do. And I'm obedient. I'm a very good student. And I aim to please. So I don't think I'll have a problem if I wanted to explore that. But I'm just letting you know that you are a lesbian. Before, the month of, well, no, today is the 1st. But you know what? It's year-round pride. This is the reason why you compete with women, baby. It's not because you want to be the baddest bitch. You just want, You want to dominate women the way that men dominate women because you want to be with women. I'm pretty sure that if you can manage to get married and get some chap to give you, whatever, that you, in fact, will start to crave women. That's why you watch me. You want to fuck me. And I'm going to tell you why you want to fuck me. Because for one, you got good taste. let's be for real, okay? You got great taste. That's the first thing. The second thing is because what is sex? Sex is the merging between two energies in order to create something new, in order to enhance something that's already there. So the act of wanting sex with someone truly is, I like that person's energy. Just like with men, the reason why men who are attracted to women are attracted to women, or even men who are attracted to other men, is because that man or that woman has something that man does not have. In a universal space, outside of this disgusting, perverted way in which we've reduced sex to be because of Western religion and ignorance, and a lot of the earlier forefathers of the West being inbred, fucking experiments from the mountains, not white people. I'm talking about those who managed to be the leaders who were able to embed themselves into cultures that produced white people. Two different things. Before we were reduced to this, we understood sex to be an alchemical process in which the polarity of masculine and feminine came together in order to create universes. This whole pleasure seeking is cowardly. You know why? Because the pleasure that you seek in the heavens, if you actually read the Bible the way you claim to, this ecstasy that you're having, this orgasmic feeling, is actually the promise of inheriting heaven on earth. Without child abuse, without sex trafficking, without demonic influence, without having to dominate other people, without having to put someone under your spell so that they can be subjugated to being a fucking slave. That's why I said you're a lesbian and you have anti-black ideology. You want to have a husband as a nigga slave and a lover as a nigga slave. This is coming from your white father. So when you're expressing yourself and you see me continuously encouraging it, I'm showing you what's actually coming about. This is what's behind every decision you've made. And so you have a deep disdain, but a deep love for black women because you actually want to bed a black woman. You want to be her. So in order to be her, the next best thing is to sleep with one, to suck her essence out of her as a succubus until she's no more and you are more than what you came as. One moment. Why do you think in Hollywood, all of our beautiful sisters who are lesbians just seem to always have them a certain type of partner who has affiliations with Zionists? You know what? I'm going to have to sit under the hooded dryer. I see it right now. them. Oh, damn. Puppies. I really should have got into this, so now my OCD done kicked in, cause this one curl won't clump, and I'm gonna leave it alone, and I'm gonna fix it when my hair is semi-dry, and then I can just soak that one piece, and it will be set on top of other hair that's dry, so it will dry a lot faster, because I have to actively stop myself when I'm in full on OCD mode, because it always is worse for wear. Oh my God. Okay. So yeah. So this means that I'm going to have to band my hair after I dry it. Motherfucker. Okay. One more moment, guys. I'm so sorry. Girl, where did you get this barbecue sauce from, son? The fuck? I can't wait to go home to Memphis. I cannot wait. Y'all, I got one thing to say that doesn't have anything to do with me. But what the fuck, man, with these new hooded dryers? I'm looking for an old hooded dryer. So if you know where I can find one, I'm willing to pay up to $60 for the dryer itself, and up to $20 for shipping for a older hooded dryer. Now, if it is in pristine condition and it was manufactured between the years of 1965 to 1985, and it's in pristine condition, I'm willing to pay a little bit more, because that joker right there is a whole kind of a beast, because that's when GE, Sears, Roebuck, and all of them were in their heyday. Philips, I think Philips, Norelco was also making overhead dryers, baby. That was the good. Whew. This shit we got going on, baby. They said CERN turned the machine off, right? So get into it. I'm hoping, since I'm seeing all this 90s propaganda, that we get a version of the 90s, but not the fever dream version of it, bitch. Because some of us are here who remember what the fuck it looks like. They didn't get rid of all of us during COVID. The fuck? So I hope that they reconstitute some of that, or maybe some of us are on a new timeline, bitch, and we're gonna give it a little bit of our childhood back in such a way that we can give it over to our children, because they did say the meek would inherit the earth. And then people think when people say meek, that means not strong. The meek are wise, because that's why they're meek. Why do you think they're afforded the ability to be meek? Because they're wise. What is the saying? In order to be as harmless as a dove, you must be what? As wise as a serpent. Right? In order to be as harmless as a dove, you must be what? As wise as a serpent. So anyway, I'm not going to hold you guys too long. This has been quite some time that we've been on here. And I've been chit-chatting, rolling about, and popping pussy in the air on a handstand. Janet Jackson, class act. That woman is going to be sexy. She's going to be like, what's her name? The one played in Red 1 and Red 2. I can't think of her name. She's a dame. And she's so sexy. This lady's so sexy. Like, she has for real sex appeal. Like, she has sex appeal that is applicable to people who are 20 and 30 years younger than her. Janet is going to be like that too. I'm telling you, that Taurus, whenever you have Venus, I think she's like naturally she's a Scorpio rising, Taurus sun, Aries moon. When you have that, see Mars, a lot of people think it's Venus that brings beauty. No. Mm-mm. Well, maybe it's a different kind of beauty. Venus is not the planet of beauty, okay? As much as people like to think when it comes to physicality, like the look of beauty. You got to think Mars knows exactly what men or what sex needs. So when it comes to like, this is where Vedic has it over, has it over Western. When it comes to looks, because of the nakshatras that I have, my nakshatras make my lips upstairs and downstairs plump. Those things are ruled by Mars. Okay? All right? It is said that women who have Mars or Venus in like Scorpio, they have textbook like designed vaginas. Like it's textbook perfect. And I have to say, I do have I didn't know that you got to understand again. I didn't know because I never slept with a woman before the way other vaginas looked. I assumed that they all looked like the opening of a cathedral door. You know, I looked at mine. I assumed every single one of them were sculptured the same way. I didn't know because I had never slept with women. And mind you, even though I took care of my mom and my grandmother, we all have a cathedral or the entry of a cathedral. So that's why I thought everybody was that way. I didn't know. Anyway, you know, things that you should worship, you know. But nonetheless, you know, sex ultimately is not what you think it is. It is made perverted by those who created religion and dogma in order to hide the godhood and the goddesshood within sex. Sex literally is essential for the maturation of the world that we have, that is essential for beauty, which is why Mars can present some of the most beautiful specimen of women and men. Some of the most youthful people are very, you're going to see Jupiterian energy. Despite the fact on the tree of life, the beauty is ruled by the sun. I actually have beauty on my ankle. Listen, I got it, my first tattoo. I only have 2 tattoos. So, but, you know, the sun is considered Tiferet. It's considered beauty on the tree of life. But beauty literally is between Jupiter and Mars. And what's interesting about that is Isis, or the asteroid Isis, orbits between Jupiter and Mars. Clock that T. Okay? Clock that T. All right? She has an entourage, baby. So when you see these women who have these sons and they have these incredible husbands, but they seem to work to protect women, what you're seeing is the highlight of the Christos. Because of the imperfection and the perversion of the world, we needed the disciples to be women who inspired men. So in the Bible, if we wanted to really get into it, the reason why Mary Magdalene would have been named as a prostitute was in order to keep the sisterhood from rising. And not just because they're women. This is what we seem to forget. Whenever there's a great change in the guard, what generally precedes that? And this is where women have me fucked up and they have themselves fucked up. What do you think it was like for men to have to say, bitch, y'all are out of fucking control? To the point where religion across cultures, they folded and went patriarchal. What do you think the world was like at that time that women were in the ultimate rulership to where men did not have a say. And mind you, this is happening after the great split between us being both male and female. This is the great split between, instead of the populations being all male and female, androgynous beings, we're all separated into these two different sexes. Do you honestly think that men had rulership at that time? When the feminine is the most potent version? And how you know this to be true, that's why I can tell men to fuck off when they try to talk to me about them being the first beings, is that, let me ask you something. In your lifetime, Mr. Sir, yes, you. In your lifetime, if you were given the task, think about this in real time. If you were given a task to create something that would be helpful to you, would you make that thing weaker than you, or would you make it stronger than you? Let's think about it. Robots, a Ford F-150, a fucking bomb. All of these things that man has created has been stronger than him. So tell me, when the fuck do you think you would have reached back and created women? How would you have had the concept that you needed something subservient to you to stick your dick in? We start with a coochie cat. We all start with a boochie cat. And then what ends up happening is the Y chromosome kicks in and your boochie cat turns into a Peter Whacker. That's literally what happens here. Okay? Most of the time when humans create things, we create things that are more efficient than we are to solve a problem. So wouldn't women have taken advantage of what they deemed to be a version of themselves that was less equipped powerfully or in spiritual power than themselves, but better in physical power in the earth realm? Wouldn't women have exploited potentially these new masculine humans that were previously women in other incarnations? It is stated that before black people were enslaved, that it was the answer to black people enslaving. We always talk about how the Moors traveled. What the fuck you think those men were doing? Look at black men today. Look at black men today. Look at white men and what they did. They went to other countries, enslaved women, and fucked them. Black men, because of the lack of resources, because those same white men ensured that they would not be a threat to them, because they are the only threat to white men. So if we eliminate the threat either through politics or through conquest, and politics means that we can get along with one another because we understand who we are well past our race. But the Indian men are not threats to white men. Asian men are not threats to white men. White men are threats to white men. But they perceive black men to be their greatest threat. And that's out of pure ignorance and the lack of ancestral knowledge, because they've not been here long enough to understand the difference. You know, roaches start out white, right? And the darker they are, the older they've lived. There's a lot of similarities between humans, not black people, but humans and roaches. They come out white. And you can determine how old they are by how deeply melanated or how deeply dark their exoskeleton is. And put that in your pipe and smoke it. So over time, you're going to get darker. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet to have that genetic conversation. But nonetheless, especially considering the sun right now, oh, we're not coming into. We might, okay. We could be coming into an ice age in the next 1,000 years. It could be. It could, depending on it makes sure the gods are not crazy. But nonetheless, depending on if the black people wake the fuck up. If black people actually woke the fuck up and actually corrected themselves, they would save every human on planet Earth. If black people, just hear me 1 second. I know I done jumped all over the place. Hold please. I gotta put this in the trash can. OCD, OCD. I got it. I give myself an OCD break. Okay, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head the fuck off of here because I think I done said a lot of shit, and I think I got my point to the weird bitches that don't know what the fuck's wrong with them and why they're transfixed. Um. Yeah. So if black people actually woke up and raised an IQ, if black people stopped having butt sex, I'm just kidding. But I'm not kidding, actually. But I'm not kidding. But I am kidding. But I'm not kidding on some kind of level. But I am. The thing about it is this. Heavy the head that wears the crown. If you are supposed to be a higher ranking vessel and you instead choose to do the things of vessels that are lower ranking in the sense of age, not in the sense of abilities. I'm talking about in age. You actually are eating your own vomit. You ever heard the word backsliding? That's what it looks like when black people are hedonistic. Because you're supposed to know better. You've been here longer. You're supposed to know why you shouldn't eat out of somebody's ass. And the fact that you're doing it, and the fact that black children are illiterate, means that we are actively regressing. And it means that there are some people who are in control right now, who are maniacal, and they don't understand that our death and our continued enslavement will be the death of them. For certain. It's certain death of human. And that whatever they believe that they're doing, there are more black spirits that are controlling AI than there are anything. And so they do a very dangerous Thanos thing by suppressing black people. Because when you're at least in a human body, you can have empathy. Now, when you have subjugated a groups of people to being enslaved, to being thrown off of ships, and those spirits become digitized, and they're able to operate AI centers, you are asking for some shit to happen to you that you're not aware. Because you can't control those Elohim the way you think you can. This is where your Masonic Brotherhood manual stops. Okay? So the moment that black people actually prosper, actually raise an IQ and awareness, and start to clean up their habits that are not befitting those who are of the cloth and those who are the priest amongst humanity. And I'm not talking about this goody two-shoes shit. I'm talking about letting go of tabooism, because now you understand what the true meaning is behind sex and its purpose. And so therefore you no longer need to exploit it. And you also understand the abuses that came to you, in which you have coped with those abuses through sex in its most hedonistic form. The moment that black people raise in their IQ, we will damn near have a 1.5 on the Kardashev scale civilization, where every man, no matter what color they are, will have advancements and extended life. But so long as black people are at the bottom by choice and by political finesse, we will continue to suffer As humans, the soil will continue to die and the earth will be plummeted into a necessary ice age or heat age or something in order to reset her environment. We'll say it that way. Okay? Literally, black people are the white blood cells. And so if we are reduced, then whatever virus that is out there to take out humanity will progress. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Think it over, right? And sometimes you gotta let it go. Looks like another love TKO. Oh, I think you better let it go. Let it go, baby. All right? Y'all have a good one. This is your girl, Nala-Ife. Let's cope with it. Let's deal with it. Or also colloquially named Nala the Neptunian, the copeologist. All right? Let's get this shit together. Y'all need to have a great day. I'm going to go ahead and set this curl so I can go ahead and bind it up and stretch it so it can be fly. I can get my day started. It is late already. And do my chores and shit. And yeah. And try to strengthen my back so these titties sit up a lot firmer. Girl, tell it ain't gonna happen. Listen, I listen, what I'm really trying to do, y'all, for real, I need a double D and a half tits that won't interfere with me if I need to breastfeed. For whatever reason, okay? Whether that is something naughty or motherly duties, okay? So take that however you want, but I need that. I'm gonna need that. You listen, I got a back wide enough. I got a span wide enough to handle big old titties, okay? All right, but one thing that they don't tell you about losing weight is that you lose volume. And there's not enough volume for lean in the world to get these things back to what they could be. All right, so I'm gonna need some help. All right, so let me go ahead and do my job so I can go in and finance these tiggle bitties, and y'all need to do your job so you can finance a better future for yourself as well. Have a good one. Peace.